Hello everybody, I'm Karen. I'm going to be your host for today. And today we have kind of a special topic, in my eyes at least. Um well, before anything, I found my succubus ring. It's just like a heart with a devil tail, and so therefore I call it a succubus. Because I think we all have that phase of being obsessed with some kind of demon. My demon was a succubus. Did you guys know that it isn't like, oh, a succubus is a woman and an incubus is a man? It is on in the sense of a succubus is someone who is under or submissive, and an incubus is someone who is over, someone who's on top. So if you're a male who is more on the receiving end, you're likely a succubus instead of an incubus. And that's where the word concubine comes from, if I'm not wrong, It's succubine or incubine, something like that. I read about it, I swear, I studied. You see how this is moving? I don't know if the sound got caught on the camera, but it's shaky. This is the same area where I record my videos, but this time I'm using two tables because, oh no, it has drawers. Because I don't know, people changed things here. And again, we're with our trusty Chromebook. In some other video, I think it was in the original characters video, I mentioned being really into Kyle Gass Garrick from the Call of Duty reboots. And we're following on the same pattern. I didn't post my date everything video where it's a very clear pattern, but I mean, I'm a bisexual woman, but I have a really big preference with men, and I think at some point I just embraced my love for black men specifically. I'm not saying that I don't like white men, I'm just saying that black men seem to draw my eyes the most. I have a Hear Me Out folder on Pinterest, and that pattern is kind of really glaring. It's mostly black guys and Asians. Saying like this, that most of the people I'm attracted to are from a different race. Not looks, sounds fetishizing, but I swear it isn't that. Saying that I'm into Asian guys and black guys in general, doesn't matter the culture, really makes me seem like Donald Glover. And he is one of the biggest objects of my attraction. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I have his Wikipedia page pulled up. He is one of the most prominent guys on this Hear Me Out folder. I have about 45 edits of him saved on TikTok. I'm planning on buying the album because the internet. I mean, the guy is an actor, a comedian, a singer, a composer, a producer, a director, a rapper, and a writer. What more can this guy do? I mean, going through his filmography, just the to-do list. I know he put kind of put a reference to the to-do list on I'm going to remember the name of the song. I'm just I'm blowing up like my swagger on the gas. I'm making movies. I'm writing movies where I'm making out with every plaza. Homegirl, my homegirl. It is not like that. Put it in my video. Yes, that one. I like that he makes references to his other works on his music. That's what I was trying to say. I want to watch Clapping for the Wrong Reasons. I think it's like the director's cut is on his YouTube. I mean, he was on Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah, it's pretty general knowledge that Miles Morales and Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, only exists because of him, you know, because they wanted to make another Spider-Man and they wanted to make it different, and so why not make Spider-Man black? And someone said, hey, I think this guy would make an amazing Spider-Man. And so it blew up. But he didn't, he was a Spider-Man, but he did act as Aaron Davis on that movie, on the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And I think it was really nice. I also didn't know that he voiced Simba on the 2019 Lion King. And I mean, I kind of rediscovered Donald Glover when I watched Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And I just saw that gorgeous man on that one cameo that he did. And damn. And another thing, I think it is on Into the Spider-Verse that there's a scene where like Miles walking around and on the TV is a scene from Community. I absolutely love Community. It's my favorite sitcom of all time. And so there's a scene of Community which is Donald's character, Troy, like getting out of bed and he's wearing his Spider-Man pajamas. If I find it, I'll put it somewhere around here. And oh my god, it's so beautiful. Oh, I hate this. I hate that I'm like this, but you said I like talking about the people that I like, even if it's a little weird, and even if I'm gonna have a really hard time captioning this video because my darling wife. Sometimes I cringe a little bit when I call my best friend my darling wife. It's just, she's my favorite person in this whole world. My best friend Marcieli, she wanted to watch this video when I told her that I was going to record it. And so now I will caption this video fully in Portuguese on YouTube caption system for her, because I like talking about the things that I like, and I like making the people that I like happy. And if this is going to make her happy, then I'm going to do it. So, from 2009 to 2014, Donald Glover did 89 episodes on Community. He was, I'll admit, I only watched Community because of that opening gag. That was, hey, Troy needs like a girl, and how about a pound you like a boy? That didn't come out right. Then it's a whole thing, you know. I think it was Shirley said something, then Annie says, Shirley, that was the most racist thing I've ever heard. And Jeff's like, Pierce gonna beat that in 1 minute. And then Troy says, it's the, oh, hey, Troy is like a girl, and how about I found you like a boy? That didn't come out right. And then Shirley's all like, can't you leave him alone with his cute little baby sneezes? And Troy's like really pissed off and said, you're not my mother. And Pierce just, I don't know what the fuck Pierce was doing. He was on the computer, I think. And then they're like, she's not? And when I explain it isn't funny, but I think it's amazingly funny. Talk about it. I really love it with the Brazilian dub. Fuck it, I'm going to put this whole scene here.
Olha, o Troy espirra como uma menina. E se eu te meter a porrada como menino, isso não soou legal?
Por que não deixam ele em paz enquanto o nosso bebezinho espirra?
Você não é a minha mãe. Não é?
I'm just saying, I love Troy Barnes as a character. Like, the whole jock persona, like, stupid. I love it. But I hate how they lobotomize him on the 4th season. Okay, it was the gas leak year, but still, it was so bad. And it was like one of his last seasons, too. And also, I won't comment on his relationship with Britta because, to me, it was disgusting to watch. Not like I was disgusting that he's dating another woman. No, it's just I don't think they had any chemistry at all. In the 4th season, Britt and Troy were still dating when the writers like did her story of dance. In like there's the one scene, I think it's the ending scene on that episode, where Jeff like makes a very pretty text and sends it to Britta, and they have so much chemistry in that scene. But she's still dating Troy, and it's so weird. And that's also part of the reason why I like the Freaky Friday episode. Not just because Troy and Britta broke up, but because I also really like Freaky Friday, and I thought it was a nice concept. And I also didn't know that Donald Glover was on regular show, because I didn't really watch much regular show because I only could watch it at my dad's house. Adventure Time! You don't know how much my mind was blown when I discovered that he was the voice of Marshall Lee. Oh my! When I saw Marshall Lee, when I watched that episode for the first time, I was really young, but goddamn, I fell in love with him and I went to search. I watched the Portuguese version, the Spanish version, and I watched the English version. You don't know how much I fell in love with that. Oh, Atlanta. I'm reading from the Wikipedia. Atlanta. I'm on the 2nd season. I need to finish watching it, and oh my god, this is so nice. I absolutely loved. I started Atlanta like. I'm just saying, Vanessa is way more of a woman than I will ever be, because I'd forgive Ern every time he fucked up. Just, I don't. I'm weak like that for a pretty man. And also on Atlanta, I mean, just saying. We have my second topic, the second guy that I really, really like, who's Lakeith Stanfield. He played Darius Epps on Atlanta, and oh my god, you don't know how much I laughed in this scene. Just and like, okay, a guy who makes cookies. You're telling me he makes cookies? Okay, I'll take. And oh my god, every scene with him is so funny. Lakeith Stanfield is so much of a talent actor. And then like I was watching something on TikTok and came to me, that one clip from Sorry to Bother You, which is like he's on the like telemarketing thing, and the guy next to him says, "Hey, you gotta use your white voice if you want to get any sales." And like I really want to watch the movie, and I was watching that and I was thinking, I seen that man somewhere, and then I realized that I saw him on this Pinterest picture, and there's his name on it. I was oh my god, what a gorgeous guy. Also, we also have this guy from The Walking Dead. He did Mayhem with an actress that I really like, but I forgot the name. The blonde one who did Grace on Ready or Not. Okay, but back to Lakeith. I looked. I think it was. I don't think it was that picture, but it was a picture of him, like Lucas Sabbath. I think Lucas Sabbath. No, it was someone. It was someone else entirely. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I saw a picture of this Lucas Sabbath guy, and below that was the picture of Lakeith that I showed. And then I went to search it up. Who was this guy? Because I thought he was so beautiful. Yes, there's the comments. Someone commented on that picture. Is this Kendrick Lamar? And someone responded, no, this is Lakeith Stanfield. And so I went to search it up because I felt like I saw that name before. And I realized, where did I know him from? It was from Get Out. I absolutely love Get Out. Not just because Daniel Kaluuya is in it and he voiced Hobie Brown, but oh my god, how much do I like that movie? And like, I was looking in, if I'm not wrong, like if the guy that was brainwashed and the guy who said, who told the protagonist to get out, and okay, maybe he might not look as good on that movie as he does on his other works, but oh my god, I looked at that man. That was the most stunning man I have seen in my life, and so I went search it up who he was. That's how I discovered Lakeith Stanfield. This picture, this is the picture. Oh my god, this is the picture of Luka Sabbath that appeared to me, and I was like scrolling down on it, and I saw that picture of Lakeith Stanfield. That's why my brain gets the two of them confused. And I'm just saying, you know. And that's like some of the reasons how I realized that I may have a really big thing for black guys. And also Kyle Gets Garrick, as I mentioned. Like, I think it's like such a I feel like I say the word like as like a filler word way too much. So, he's such a complex character on an emotional level. That first mission that he appears, you know, with Captain Price, and there's a hostage, not a hostage, there's a civilian with a bomb strapped to him, and they can't deactivate the bomb one time, and Price just pushes the guy out of the balcony to blow up and not kill the other people that were hostages. That was like at the start of the game, and it's so dismissed. That must have been such a brutal thing for Gas to endure. And oh my god, I need to finish watching the Modern Warfare campaign. I'm watching a no commentary, so I just get really bored. And so I think I'm going to watch Alonso do playing it. I can't play shooting games. Like Call of Duty Mobile is so confusing to me. And still, I fucking hate Elliot Knight. He's a Zionist for all I know, but his character is so well made and so damn pretty. Oh, I can't. That's too much. And I'm not going to get like into Michael B. Jordan on Sinners. Everyone was flocking to Stack. Me and Annie. I confused her name. I thought her name was Anne, but if I'm not wrong, it's Annie. Me and Annie stayed back with Smoke. I love a center king, a well-adjusted king. Okay, Stack got this charm. There's not a word for molho in inglês. I'm trying to say that ele tem molho, tá? And it's, oh my god. Finally they cast Michael A. Jordan for something. I'm going to be such a good dad. I'm dying to make dad jokes. I was scrolling through my TikToks and I saw a night of Donald Glover, and I remember which head it was. Just saying, oh my god, there's so many of it. Oh right, Donald Glover did a show like Camp Flog now, I think. Probably the last show of his career, and I'm devastated because he only came to Brazil in 2015. I was 6 in 2015, a year later, I started listening to K-pop. 2015. Tell me, why would this girl be at a Childish Gambino concert? Why wouldn't she? And why can't he come back now? Oh my god, like, my mind was blown with like the stroke thing that he mentioned, breaking his foot, like finding a hole in his heart. I'm glad like that he's doing well now and his family. And I've made one of my plans if I ever go to the US. One of my plans is to go to LA and go to Jellyman. I don't even like boba tea because I never had it. But so I'll go and I'll see if I like it. It'll be an experience. I started labeling everything like this. Oh, it went good. All right, it's a positive experience. Oh, it went bad. It's a negative experience. You know to never do that again. But if we're gonna stay like if we're gonna stay talking about just black guys, I could be here for a while. But I also like to pay a mention to the Asians on my Hear Me Out folder. I have a really big thing for Bihan in Mortal Kombat 1. I'm not even gonna get started on it, especially because in 7 minutes my class is going to start and I want to go away and just Bihan, and then Kung Lao. Not so much on Reptile, Syazov. Not too much on Johnny Cage and Kenshi, but heavy on Kung Lao and Bihan. If I open a certain AI site, I didn't log my account, I'm not gonna. But I know in there's somebody else from Call of Duty. Johnny So McTavish. I don't know, he's funny, he makes me laugh. And I like his mohawk. I like that he's Scottish. I'm studying Scottish for like an English presentation. And he's really nice. And like away from the Asians and the black guys. I also there is one French guy and he's from a game. It's Caistio. I hate that his name in English is pronounced Caistio. Porque é o Castiel. Castiel is the right pronunciation. Castiel is from My Candy Love. I've been in love with that character ever since I started playing My Candy Love in 2017. I think he had his current sprite. Oh my god, I'm joking. I think he had his current sprite design. And also, of course, Cut and Rod from Date Everything, the curtain and the curtain rod. Oh my god, I have a really big thing for Kurt specifically, but I'll take both in more than 3 or 4 ways. Oh my, why do I say these things? Also, Henry Hoover, the vacuum from Date Everything. Here's the reason I paid 110 in Brazilian currency to play this game. Because I played the demo and 2 days later the demo went out. Oh my god, it was so fucking... I drink motor oil with him. Just saying. Stefan also. I love myself a man who can cook. A man who owns his kitchen. Perfect. Even though he's young. And I feel like his realized sprite is also very, very pretty. But I have some exceptions, no? I really like Dante. And art. I think that, to me, art is a black albino. That's it. I love listening to the kids yell outside. Oh, but okay. Somebody else. I'm looking through my TikTok here. I found an edit that I know I like. I don't remember the name of the actor, but it's the guy who made Chris on Everybody Hates Chris, who does Eddie Gregory on Abbott Elementary. You know, Janine's boyfriend. I understand Janine completely. I'd let him hit. Fucking. Ooh, I found someone else. Sergeant Dokes. Sergeant James Dokes from Dexter. That's all I have to say. I know his ball, but and there would be nowhere to hold on to. But please, someone needs to back me up here. I don't see the appeal on Dexter, but James Dokes, he should have lived. Just saying. I didn't fucking watch the show, if you're wondering. My ex-boyfriend really likes this show, and I promised I'd watch it because of him. But now I'm just very relieved that I have one less show in my list. And oh my, still Donald Glover. That's my closing line for this epidemiology on Community, season 2, episode 6. That like neuron activation. Bye.